Hey, what's up, Average Joes? Today I want to talk about some good fall, spooky, thriller, murder mystery, slight horror type reads that I might want to get into in whether it's October or leading up to October. And if you've watched a lot of my videos, you know that I don't really read horror. I think I've literally read one, maybe two horror books in all of my life. So I think this October, because I've been getting more and more recommendations, I wanted to try and fit some horror and some other darker books in there.
Come on, little fella.
But before we get into it, thank you for watching these videos, liking, subscribing. So if you do like these videos, please like, subscribe as well if you're not already. And I will try and keep putting out some different things here and there. Also in this video, I'm going to mention some Kindle Unlimited books. And as normal, there's a link in my description, which is just a list of Kindle Unlimited books that I have on my radar. It is not a buy me books link. It is just a, hey, these are books on Kindle Unlimited that I know about, and you feel free to check them out on your own. So going into the fall and October Halloween type season, I don't do monthly TBRs. So like, although I'm saying like I want to read these in October, if at the end of September I get a break from my long buddy read schedule, then I might just throw one of these in early or something like that. And there's always carryover books each month, so you can't. It's kind of impossible to have set TBRs each month, and it's just like, because it's like, oh well, if I don't read it, if I don't finish this, I'm just going to carry it over next month anyway. But anyway, books that I'm going to talk about, I have a lot of ones on here. Some I've owned for a while. Some I've wanted to get to for a while, and other ones are just ones that were on my Kindle Unlimited list that I'll point out. I'll do the Kindle Unlimited ones last, just so they're all together. But the first one, and this might slightly go in order of ones that I might prioritize come October or whenever I start these, and that is Something Wicked This May Come by Ray Bradbury, I believe. So this one is definitely a very popular, very big time book. And I think, funny enough, I want to read two Ray Bradbury before the end of the year, because I have Fahrenheit 451 downstairs. Pretty sure it's the same person. I don't feel like checking right now. I'm pretty sleep deprived as right now as well. So anyway, Something Wicked This Way Comes sounds really, really awesome. Sounds very unique. It is, I think, technically horror, but I don't think it's all very scary. It's kind of just like freaky weird in a way, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I actually don't know that much about it. I just know it's really popular and that a lot of people have read it and really, really liked it. And I've owned it. I bought it last year. I think it was like right around Halloween. There was a sale on it, and I bought it for like $3 or something on Kindle. So I've had it for a while, and I just push it off until reading it in the fall, because it just feels like a good fall Halloweeny read. Next, I will do Frankenstein. 100%. I need to read Frankenstein. It is a classic that most people, even if you don't like horror, sci-fi, anything like that, really like. Frankenstein. It's just one of those that you need to check off the box. And in my recent book haul that I actually went to, the physical, the bookstore, the haul that I did, they had a few classics there that I picked up, one of which was Frankenstein, and I wanted to get it in the Penguin edition, the Penguin Classic edition, so just so mine line up, because that white strip at the bottom will all line up depending on how many I get. I have 4 or 5 now, so we'll see which one. I'm not interested in a ton of classics. I'm not that one for classics reading, but Frankenstein 100%, I will get to it. I don't think it's very long. Writing style, we'll see how that goes. I haven't really done well with much older writing style in general, but I think I have decent hopes about Frankenstein. At least it's not as long as Count of Monte Cristo. Next, H.P. Lovecraft. I also, last year, and I think it was due to Mike's book reviews, he had a why you should read Lovecraft, and I just went online, and like, you can buy pretty much its entire omnibus for like $1. I think that's what I got on Kindle. It was like his entire collection was $1. So I was like, well, hell yeah, why not? So I will, and since they're a lot like really short stories are like novella length, I might just throw those in between some of these because I could just jump in and throw and just put one of those in there and come back to it and then read them in whatever order. I'll probably look up a good reading order. I think Mountains of Madness or something like that. I have no idea. Is I've heard is a good place to start. And Lovecraft is known for his freaky creatures and those type of creepy settings and the creatures that come out of the deep, out of the water, or wherever they are. And it sounds very atmospheric and creepy that way, not like a startle you serial killer, Patience of a Dead Man, lady with a hatchet creepy. Different kind of like gory or weird monsters creepy. So that gives a little bit of variety. Since I don't really know that much about Something Wicked This Way Comes, I think there's more of a plot to that one, but Lovecraft could be good because I can't just throw those things in, and it might be a decent change from Frankenstein, which might be more literary and more thought provoking. I think humanity wise, versus Lovecraft are just going to be crazy creatures. Let's see. Okay, here's one. I think I'm just going to go into Nightmareland Chronicles. This one has been rising up my list. Leslie over at the Nerdy Narrative has been talking, praising this one a lot. Andrew has as well as Lauren when she was on my video, the First They're Sour, then They're Sweet, the Booze and Books one that we did with Lauren. She's talking about Nightmareland Chronicles and how awesome they are. Basically, everybody that's read these have gushed about how awesome these books are. And I didn't really know too much about it. I know the covers look freaky in themselves, but then I actually heard a synopsis and the premise about it, and it actually sounds really cool and like a freaky kind of, again, it's one of those freaky atmospheric dark reads versus like a scary startling, maybe give you nightmares kind of thing, even though it's called Nightmareland Chronicles. This one 100% is going to happen, and they are all on Kindle Unlimited. I think the final book isn't supposed to come out till next year or something like that. I think there's 4 out at this point. Not super sure. I probably won't catch up to all of them, but I think I would like to read at least like the first 2 or 3 if I can. We'll see, because I still have 2 buddy reads I need to continue at least in October. But Nightmareland, see, a lot of these, what's good about a lot of these books is that they're going to be short. So Nightmareland are like no novellas. Lovecraft is basically short stories, novellas. Frankenstein, I don't think is very long. We'll see how long it takes. And I think Something Wicked is also under 400 pages. So that's also nice for some of these. And if you just want to throw in between any series that you want, then these could be really good for that. There's a book called The Narrows, which I think is on Kindle Unlimited. So I guess we're just going to keep on staying with Kindle Unlimited. So The Narrows is kind of I got a couple on here that are going to be kind of a blend between mystery, horror, fantasy type things. And The Narrows is one of them. There is an other world. So there is a friend in our world. This is like in our world that their friend dies unexpectedly, and they're trying to find the cause of their death. And in order to do that, they venture to the other world, or what's called the Narrows, which I assume is just some sort of like paranormal alternate world to ours, to find out why they died. I think this is a trilogy as well. The books are short. It has really good reviews, but it sounds cool. It sounds like a mixture of portal fantasy and horror, like creepy, going to the dead zone, ultimately trying to find out why their friend died and dealing with some sort of supernatural entities. So The Narrows is one as well. Shade is a new one. This is also one that Leslie has mentioned. There's actually like 3 or 4 on here that Leslie has read or gushed about or talked about. So thank you, Leslie, from the Narrative. I'll link her channels below. Shade sounds like a really creepy, dark murder mystery that I'm very, very interested in. I do like my murder mysteries, and this one just sounds like a really creepy, dark one, and it is on Kindle Unlimited. Apparently, this author wrote another book that was fantastic that a lot of people loved, and now this one's also getting some decent praise. I don't really know much about them, but again, creepy murder mystery that could be good for a Halloween type setting. The Goners, meanwhile, we'll just stick with Leslie recommendations. She absolutely loved it. I think it might be a true crime type book, which I've never read. True crime, it really, honestly, true crime doesn't really interest me all that much. I'd rather just stick with the fictional crime, even though, sometimes true crime really gets into the weeds about certain things, whereas I would just want um, a different kind of narrative. I don't know. I really haven't really tried true crime, at least book wise. As far as like watching the shows, like the documentary ones, it doesn't really interest me. But the Goner sounds really cool. It sounds like another type of serial killer, creepy cabin in the woods type of story. Let's see. Play Dead. The series is called Elise Sandberg, and so far there are 4 books in the series. The covers look actually really awesome. So if you like the books with really good covers and aren't on Kindle Unlimited, then I would highly suggest checking these out because the covers look really awesome, very creepy vibes, and there is a mystery element to that. So like a homicide detective, there's murder mystery to it, but there's also necromancy involved. So dead's been raising. Somebody's creating real life zombies and posing the victims into conspicuous paralysis that mimics death. So yeah, this one definitely has a lot of the creepy Halloween type murder vibes, and it is a series and it is on Kindle Unlimited. But again, the covers look really, really awesome. So if you like those kinds of things, I'll try and put the photo up here so you can see. And they're not super long. The first book is 370 pages. So they can also be fit in and thrown in as you go. Next one, 300 pages. So not too bad. Next is Hellmouth. Hellmouth. I believe this is a historical fiction horror, very gory short story. So it's not very long at all. I've heard good things about it. It takes place in, I think, the Renaissance era, and the cover has an armored person. I think there's blood coming out. I've heard it's a really good story, very gory, very creepy, and I think there is a haunted castle in Europe somewhere that it's based off of, like an actual, like really, really badly haunted castle. And this is the story from the castle that's haunted, and when basically what is haunting this castle. I think in real life people believe that it's legitimately haunted, and this is what it stems from. So a kind of real life ghost story, if you will, but this will be the gory story toward it. So Hellmouth, again, short story or novella. I really don't know the difference between short story and novella lengthwise, but that can be a good one to throw in. Next, Devil's Creek. This one sounds really interesting. Also Kindle Unlimited. There was apparently this town that a church burned down and a bunch of people died in it, and there's these siblings of 6 that survived it or something. And the main character moves away and becomes an artist, and like they're dealing with nightmares and crazy paranormal stuff their entire life. And then they go back to the town to settle their grandma's estate, and more information is revealed about the burning of the church, and other secrets are revealed behind this incident. So I think this person's going to be dealing with some of their past, maybe some ghost type things, some nightmares, mental issues, things of that nature. So this is more on the thriller mystery side than horror, but it still has, something with death and tragedy and that creepy type of setting, going back to where a crazy event like that happened, and going back to someone's past can have that slightly horror, darker vibes to it. Next, there is Chasing Graves. This is probably the most fantasy mixed with horror in this. This is a 3-book series, all on Kindle Unlimited. It's gotten a really great praise, especially from Steve Talks About Books. He did a reading of this and some videos on it. And this one has necromancy, ghosts, and there is a murder. I think there's murder mystery involved as well, or some sort of mystery involved. I think there's an underground crime thing happening. I really don't know. I'm really not doing a good job of explaining these, but these are just really good ones to check out. I know I've heard good things about it, and if you have Kindle Unlimited or want to know more about them, then you can obviously go check them out. But I just wanted to highlight some good horror, thriller, creepy, dark Halloween fall type reads that you might be able to want to throw in, especially in between fantasy. If you're really heavy on fantasy right now, any one of these could be really good to throw in, because I think they're probably all, I'd be willing to guess all of them are under 400 pages. Probably half of them are even 300 or less. So why not throw some of these in to get your Halloween spirits and vibes up? And I know I want to actually try to do some more horror. I said before that I read Patience of a Dead Man in July, and I really, really liked it, book one. And so I need to read the next two books. I'm not sure if I'm going to read them in now because, again, that is actually like creepy horror, like hearing things. Like if you live in any kind of house that makes like noises, you might not want to read that one, or maybe you do. Maybe you do if you really like that sort of creepy vibes and worried about a lady with a hatchet coming after you. But that's my Halloween season reads recommendations that I might get to. I'm obviously not going to get to all of these, especially with the fantasy that I have, but I'm going to try and get to a good handful of these because I need to read something like Frankenstein, like Something Wicked This Way Comes, and obviously some of these Kindle Unlimited books because they're just so short, and Kindle Unlimited is just really awesome. So, what are some Halloween reads or creepy, good Halloween fall vibe reads that you have going on that you want to get to, that you want to prioritize? I've heard good things. Let me know down in the comments and I might add them to the list and we can chat more there about it.